SharpGrade as an attachment is designed for the smaller grading application. So it's a little bit newer to the industry, but we take a grading blade, anywhere from 109 inches to up to 128 inches for the moldboard size. And we install that grading attachments on, different size skid steers. And so in scenarios where, building grade or grading out, a material would be better with something smaller, this is where they really shine. And there's a lot of applications like that. With SharpGrade, and we'll just use like a sidewalk as a traditional application. Usually sidewalks are graded out with either a box on a skid steer, or somebody will have a Gannon box they drag behind, both of which are incredibly inefficient. You spend days building out these sidewalks. With a SharpGrade, it's like having a small grader mounted on the front of your skid steer. You're able to get into really tight locations, and especially when you automate them. If you can automate a SharpGrade with MC Mobile, you can build your grade on a sidewalk so much faster and so much more accurately than you could with a large grader or dragging around a box, a Gannon box, or trying to build grade with the bucket of a skid steer. Let's say like a parking lot. Once you get the concrete in there, you've got curb all over the place, you've got to grade material, you got to add 2 inches everywhere. People get in there with full-size graders and they're in and out trying to get these angles and do this, and you spend an awful lot of time just reworking material, and then you've got multiple laborers out there just raking, attempting to get these areas to grade. Whereas with a SharpGrade, because you can fit in all these tight little areas, you can go directly in there and you can be in and out of there in half the time that you would be with the other weather applications. I would say parking lots are a really good application for SharpGrade. We've had a lot of customers that are using these for culvert replacement. So traditionally you would go out, dig up a culvert, replace it, and then you'd have to get somebody out there with a motograder. You got to get a motograder operator out there, and they're not large areas that you have to regrade, and they're using this little SharpGrade attachment to actually go out and grade out these areas where they had to replace culverts so they can come in and pave rather than have to haul a grader and a grader operator up to these spots. We've been really effective with grading inside of buildings. So traditionally you get a skid steer in there and you just kind of move material around and rake it around until you get it flat, but we were able to take a SharpGrade and set it up with some machine control, some MC Mobile equipment, and they were able to grade that out in about half the amount of time it took them to traditionally do it. So anything that has to do with material placement, especially if it's really, really tight tolerances, the SharpGrade is a really, really good tool. SharpGrade in itself can be utilized without machine control. It operates exactly like a grader blade would. There are controls that get installed into the skid steer so that you can run it just like a grader blade. But when you take SharpGrade and you integrate technology into it like MC Mobile, you can operate it exactly like you would operate your machine control that you're already running, like on your grader, your dozer, your excavator. So you can run the exact same job file. You can run it off of GPS, you can run it off of total stations, you can run it off of lasers. Anything that you can do with traditional machine control, you can do with SharpGrade and MC Mobile. There are a lot of features that are included in those that nobody else has. One of them specifically is the ability to grade in reverse. Nobody else in the industry makes a grading attachment where you can grade in reverse. So traditional grading attachments that go on skid steers, you can only grade in the forward direction. And that's actually not the most effective way with a skid steer because of how the weight is distributed on a skid steer to the front of that moldboard. You actually get more down pressure, and it's more accurate and it's more stable when you're actually grading in reverse. And so the SharpGrade, you can drive forward, you can leave it in autos and just immediately start backing up, and you can grade forward and reverse. The bearing system that's used is that of which there isn't a single grease zerk on that machine. No grease zerks, no lubing this up and that. Everything is self-contained, and they say for life. I mean, we've got a bunch of them and we haven't had to do anything to any of them. The only thing we've ever had to replace on those is cutting edges periodically. If you're looking at grading attachments in the industry, go physically look at them and then come look at the SharpGrade attachment, because you'll immediately be able to tell There is no other grading attachment in the industry that's even close to what SharpGrade can offer as far as how robust it is. One of the changes that we've implemented at our company, and it has to do with primarily with the MC Mobile and some of the products that we're serving out to some of the smaller to medium contractors, is that a lot of times the initial price can turn people off. They can possibly find it difficult to see how they're going to get the ROI fast enough to justify making a change in their process and choosing to do things differently. We now offer, I believe it's up to 6 years worth of financing, so we can take you and get you into these products that are going to make your company 25, 35, 50% more efficient based on the type of work that you're doing. Keep that monthly cost low, and that way you can actually get out there, start to use this, not get left behind, get your company to the point where you're actually utilizing the technology, seeing how effective it can be, seeing the return on investment right away, all while keeping that monthly cost low.